Sila, for the 22,000, they have 8 personnel. Kayo po?
We have 500 one bodies as of the moment out of 736 plantation position.
Yeah, but those 500, are they in charge of monitoring, evaluating the authenticity? Iba yung warm bodies, iba yung evaluators. Kasi yung 8 nila, nag-evaluate talaga yon.
Yes, sir.
Ilan yung talagang in charge sa pag-monitor, pag-evaluate ng mga kooperatiba?
In terms of granting the juridical personality for the cooperatives, we have 15 regional offices and we have 15 officers evaluating the registration document of those applicant cooperatives.
Granting or evaluating?
Evaluating and
ano pong proseso nyo ng evaluation? What are your parameters and what are your standards for evaluating whether a cooperative is worthy to be registered as a cooperative or whether the cooperative is a bogus cooperative and will be used for other purposes?
Yung pong framework ng Republic Act 9520, which is the Cooperative Code, enumerates the requirement by which a group must submit to the Cooperative Development Authority as basis of the CDA to grant them juridical personality by issuing certificate of registration. First, they must submit articles of cooperation and bylaws, economic survey, a minimum membership of 15 persons, a minimum capitalization of 15,000.
So you're just sticking to that kasi yun po pareho lang naman sa SEC yun eh. Submission lang naman yun, papel lang naman yun eh. So you don't go beyond that.
We do regular inspection of the cooperative through our cooperative development specialist nationwide. We have assigned a cooperative development specialist for every congressional district that do inspection and monitoring.
For every congressional district, meron kayong inspector?
Yes, Your Honor.
That's 200, more or less, mga 200 yan. And they inspect the cooperatives all over?
Yes, Your Honor. We have 250 cooperative development specialists that do the inspection and monitoring of the cooperatives.
Have you ever closed any cooperatives for being bogus? Alam nyo, ang mainit ngayon yung rice trading, yung rice smuggling, at nakita namin nung last hearing, hindi last hearing, pero last Congress, nakita namin, natuklasan namin sa Blue Ribbon na maraming kooperatiba doon na medyo kung pupuntahan mo, yung ganun din, yung simpleng process of physical inspection of the office, makikita mo kaagad kung bogus o hindi eh. So, have you ever closed down any cooperatives because you found them to be...
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
You did?
Mga kaso na na-issuehan namin ng tinatawag na cease and desist order in regards to that issue of rice importation.
So, marami na kayong NGOs na cooperative na natuklasan all over the country because it's impressive. You have one evaluator inspector per congressional district.
Your Honor, talagang napakahirap po sa field officers namin ang lahat na cooperative and bisita, but we are exerting effort at least once a year. The cooperatives are visited to determine whether they are operating or not operating.
Senator Aquino?
Yeah. Dalawa ko kasi yung pinag-uusapan natin. One is the ease of registration and the other is to check the fake ones or yung gumagawa ho ng mali, no? And this is a delicate balance, no? Hindi ho pwede tayong mag-swing masyado sa isang side, no? On one hand, as many of you know, we've been pushing for ease of doing business, ease of registration, whether it's an NGO, a corporation, a business or even a co-op, no? At yung isang batikos po sa gobyerno ay napakahirap mag-register, napakahirap magkaroon ng legal entity dito sa ating bansa. And as chairperson of Trade, Commerce and Entrepreneurship, alam naman ho natin na yung isang tinutulak talaga natin yung ease of doing business. In some countries, to register, it takes you mere minutes, online pa. So, mas madali talaga magkaroon ng legal personality para makapagnegosyo niya o para makapag-transact or gumawa ng serbisyo in the case of NGOs, no? But we also have to take note that there will always be a percentage who will do wrong, no? I mean, ano yun? Given yun, no? Hindi lang yan sa Pilipinas, sa lahat ng mundo yan. Meron talagang porsyento na gagawa ng mali. Unfortunately, because of the lack of our IT systems, hindi natin nasasabi kung anong porsyento yan. Does anybody care to guess what percentage of registered co-ops are bogus, or what percentage of registered NGOs or corporations are actually transacting illegally? I would say it's less than, ang tingin ko naman siguro, less than 5% yan, o baka even smaller pa. Would you have any specific number? Yes, Chairperson Herbosa.
Your Honor, please, it's between 1 to 5%. That would include those who do not file. Those are really, really fraudulent.
Okay, so we're talking 1 to 5%. Sa co-ops po?
Wala po kaming statistic in terms of determining which cooperative is bogus or not. But suffice it to say na ang sinisigurado namin na pagka binisita, meron silang opisina at nag-ooperate.
May nahanap naman ho kayong, in short, sa lahat po na napupuntahan ninyo, pasok lahat? O meron naman ho kayo nakikita na you disallow or pinapadissolve ho ninyo?
Yun po yung proseso pagka siya ay walang opisina at hindi na nag-ooperate, then the process of...
Pero meron pong ganun?
Meron ganun.
Okay, so would you say that's what percentage of all of the co-ops you visit? Hindi naman ho siguro lalampas ng 5% rin yan, o 1%. No? So, my point is, even 5% I think is quite generous, no? Medyo malaki na ho yan. Kung tutusin, 5% of 20,000 is still a lot, no? But let's say it's 5%. Yung 95%, kailangan, no, natutulungan natin, nade-develop natin, nabibigyan natin ng lahat ng tulong na kailangan nila. Kasi ito yung mga gumagawa ng tama. So I think that has to be said first and foremost, because through this process of the pork barrel scam, talagang napalala ang pangalan ng mga NGO, napalala ang mga pangalan ng mga co-ops dito sa rice smuggling case naman ngayon, no? But we have to state, no, 95%, according to our friends from SEC and CDA, are doing good. Tama po ang ginagawa nila. So, yan ho siguro, especially for our friends in media, importanteng intindihin. 95% yan gumagawa ng tama. Pero yung 5%, yan po yung gumagawa ho ng mali in the billions of pesos yung nawawala sa taong bayan. And we need to focus on that 5%. Now, yung 8 personnel, Chairperson Herbosa, even for that 5%, parang hindi yata match ho yun, no? Kasi I'm not sure if those 8 people can really be able to monitor that 5% properly without the use of technology. And the good thing is, the Senate has the power of the purse. No? We're here to allocate budgets and to stamp to really push for priorities. And definitely, I think this interconnection and the technology piece must be a priority. Kasi, kumbaga po kapag nag-register ang isang NGO, hindi mo naman masasabi kaagad kung tama o mali. Kasi, malay mo, totoo yan, di ba? In the case of the Louis NGOs, they waited 3 years before they did anything, di ba? So, for the first 3 years, technically, legitimate talaga sila. They only become illegitimate nung may ginawa silang mali. Now, the question is, pag may nagawa ng mali, pag may na-smuggle na nabigas, o kapag meron ng bogus na transaction, how long a period does it take for us to find out if they are indeed bogus, and how long does it take for us to bring them to justice? In the case of the pork barrel scam, years ho yan. Kasi if I'm not mistaken, Chairman Grace, no? 2006 ba yung pinakamaaga po nito? 2005?
The special report on the PDAF po was for the period 2007 to 2009.
Okay.
And this report came out in 2013, so it really took a lot. But I would like to make of record that even before we came up with this special report on the PDAF, the COA has been coming up with a lot of, has been reporting a lot of findings on an agency-specific basis. For example, yung pong ZIREC at saka yung ZIREC, NAPCOR, yung mga ganyan, which were the conduits in the PDAF, no? Years before, ang dami na ho naming mga findings. Not as categorically stating that that there's a scam going on, but there have already the heads of the agencies have been called, their attention have been called repeatedly. Nagbe-build yung kanilang mga unliquidated cash advances, and these are cash advances that they were transferring actually to these NGOs, no? So, pero hindi po naman nila ina-actionan yung aming mga findings, no? And in our humble opinion, what this showed us really is, kung sa batas po, I think that we have enough. We have good laws even, no, including rules and regulations of the DBM, of the GPPB, of COA, of the SEC. Ang problema po na nakita namin yung pagpapatupad, there was not a faithful execution of these rules and regulations.
Can I push this further, Chairman Grace, no? Kapag ang COA po nagbigay ng finding na, bantayan nyo na to, malaki na yung perang unaccounted for example, you give it to the head of the agency, they don't do anything, the next year, nandyan pa rin yan, what is the course of action of COA? Can you file a case with the civil service on that agency head, or do you file criminal charges? What usually is the process po?
Yun ho yung pagbi-build up ng unliquidated cash advances, there is a technical difficulty there because until they are liquidated, we cannot audit. Kasi po, kasi when you talk of audit, we are looking for saan napunta ang pera, paano ginastos. But for as long as it is booked only as a cash advance to whomsoever, to an NGO or whatever, it's just a recording that it was transferred. They're supposed to liquidate because we have all these regulations, when to liquidate, what documents to submit. At ang magpapatupad po dapat nun yung ahensya.
I have a question, ma'am. You have a COA report. Let's say this is, you're saying na during that period, no, so mga 2007, 2008, may COA report stating this questionable, is that the right term? Questionable? Or suspect?
Yes.
Okay, questionable
yes.
item. It goes to the agency head. The agency head, you tell them, please resolve this. Ganun po yun, di ba?
Yes.
It's not resolved. Where does that report? Does that go to the president? Does that go to the cabinet? Where does it go?
Every audit report, sir, we of course the agency has a copy, and then we send a copy to the president. We send a copy to the Senate through the Senate president. We send a copy to the House of Representatives through the Speaker. We send a copy to the TPM. And then kung depende ho kung